All right, we've spent some time creating some beautiful landscapes and people and other things out of our Citrusol papers. But when it comes to matting them and framing them, this is really not that substantial. As a matter of fact, it still has National Geographic on the back of it there. So I've worked out a way to mat these and frame them and put them down on Bristol board so that they look very professional when they're done. And it took a while because this is very thin, and even using this really good clear gel medium to put them down, which is a great glue because it's not too watery and it doesn't cause it to buckle. It still buckles a bit because this is such thin paper. So I have devised a way to get these down so that they can be mounted and then matted and framed in a professional manner. So we're going to do that right now. This is my favorite Bristol board. I like Bristol because it is not too expensive. It's archival. I love this because it's recycled. See, recycled right there. And it's got a rough and a smooth side to it. So I'm going to tear out a piece of this Bristol paper. And I'm going to use the smooth side. The rough side is on this side, and you can actually feel the difference. I like to use the rough side when I'm doing watercolors, and when I'm actually using it for a surface mount board, I like to use the smooth side. So we've got the smooth side here. And I am actually going to mount this particular piece on here so that it can be framed and matted. All right. So the way that I do this is I take my palette knife and I take the Joe's gel medium and I brush it on just like you'd be icing a cake or something. So isn't that neat? There we go. Looks like icing. All right, so we're going to ice this thing down. Don't worry about if you go over the edges or anything. I'm going to show you how we clean up the mess that spills over, and this is clear, so it's not going to really show anyway. So we're going to get that down with our palette knife. And then I'm going to take a hockey brush. This is a hockey brush, H-A-K-E, not H-O-C-K-E-Y. This is what it looks like when it's new, and this is what it looks like when I get done using it. So we're going to use the old one. What happens is the gel eventually will get down in the ferrule of the brush, but they're not expensive, and they're a very nice soft brush. What I'm doing is I'm just brushing this so that this layer is even on this Bristol board. Okay, and if you can't tell, you can actually pick it up and just see where it's shiny and make sure that the whole thing is covered. Then you're going to take your Citrusol art and you're going to place it down in the middle of this, like that, and then take a clean piece of paper towel, put it over the top of everything, like that, and then take a brayer. This is a soft brayer as opposed to a hard one. The soft one you can actually push your fingernails into. It's not squishy soft, it just has a little give to it. And I'm going to take it and I'm going to brayer from the center out both ways. So now I'm going to go the center out, and then down at the bottom, same way, like that. And now I can go ahead and roll it. The reason I do that is because when I just went like this, there would be bubbles that would occur in the middle. So I go from the center out, and that way it squishes any of the extra gel medium out from underneath the painting itself. Now I'm going to go ahead and seal it down. And the reason that I place the paper towel over the top of it, you'll see shortly, is what it does is it pulls off all the extra old gel medium. Now that it's all pulled off of there, you can go ahead and make sure all of the wrinkles are pushed out by brayering it real hard, like that. And that will seal it down onto your page, okay? Now, generally speaking, I will let that dry. But since I'm the professional, I'm going to go ahead and live dangerously and go ahead and seal it as well. The reason I say I let it dry is you can see that this is buckled right now. That's the liquid, the very little liquid that's left in that gel medium. And I like to usually let that dry because if it is still wet and you go in and seal it with a varnish, you may pick up your ink, okay, which is not a good thing. However, I'm going to go ahead and do it right now because we don't want to have to sit here and watch glue dry. So what I'm going to use is Joe's Prime Really Good Gloss Varnish, which is a wonderful sealer. We're already working with a glossy sheet of paper here. And what I like to do is just seal it down. It will create a barrier so that nothing can be ruined on it. And it creates a shine on the whole thing rather than just on the paper itself. So what I've done is I've placed some of the gloss varnish into this little tray so I can get to it. Same hockey brush. I'm going to dip it in and I'm going to coat this with this. Now, my friend Bob Burridge who is an excellent painter and a very, very funny guy, told a story about this, and I'm going to relate it to you really quickly. You're not painting a house when you're sealing this. So when you paint this, you're not going to go this way, okay? Bob apparently had a huge piece that he wanted to seal in this varnish, and he decided the most expedient way to do it would be to do it with a paint roller. So he put the stuff down and he rolled it. Well, you know what that did? Created bubbles. You don't want to shake this either before you use it. No shaking, no shaking. Just simply turn it up and down like that just to mix it a little bit. So anyway, he had people coming to buy this piece, and it had bubbles in it. And he didn't know what to do. He had to call the company and have them tell what to do with this varnish that he put on. So don't paint the house. Just go one direction one time. All right, so we're going to take the hockey brush. We're going to start at the top, and we're going to come down one direction one time. That's it. Don't brush back and forth. Here we go again. Down, and one more time over here. That's it. We're done. If you start brushing back and forth on this, you're going to not only pull up the pigment on it, you're also going to get bubbles in this. So there's just a little left there. All right. Now, once it's varnished, here's a collage that I did with Citrusol papers. You can see it ties the whole thing together. The varnish seals the papers in. It stops any kind of chemical reaction that might have still been going on with it, and it will make it very archival. This happens to be on canvas. So I really enjoy this, this varnish. Once I get it varnished and I get the gel medium and I get it stuck down, you can see how beautiful it will frame up. So you can give your friends their Christmas present or whatever you want to do. There it is. It's a little wrinkled because it's a little wet, but it mattes and frames up just beautifully when you're done. So there you go.